At this equinox, I am really here talking to you about new beginnings, balance, foundations. And those of you who don't know me, my name is Angie Twydall. I am the founder of the Sanctuary of Sophia, and I've been a therapist for, ooh, can I say, over 30 years. You look too young, you say. But yeah, it's a life well lived. I started off with complementary therapies, reflexology, aromatherapy, full holistic massage. That was what I started as. And then every year I trained in something else. This lifelong learning. I was an absolute course junkie, really. And what I found as I've gone through the years and obviously created the sanctuary and the different trainings there, what I'm finding is that I really need to talk to women. I'm going to cover what this pelvic and womb anatomy and physiology foundations course is about, why I've done it at this stage in the sanctuary's life and in my life, who's it for, and really what it offers. So let's just dive straight in. Why did I create this course when we've got so many specialist courses for women who want to do womb massage, who want to learn tuning forks and all the other ones? Really, I could have done this A&P course at the very beginning, but it didn't manifest like that. What's happened is women have come with their qualifications already. The starter course is really the womb wrapping one. Womb wrapping, sacred anointing, yoni steaming. You don't need any prerequisites for that course. But what we were finding is women come with their enthusiasm, with their intuition, their knowing, they just know what to do or don't know what to do, and their devotion to this path of really wanting to help women and really wanted to specialize in womb healing. But what I was finding, and all the other associate teachers, quite often there is the anatomical foundation. So the basics of A&P, which we aren't taught, or I certainly wasn't taught in school, certainly wasn't taught in much detail in any other therapy. So this isn't a criticism of how any of us have been taught. It's just we were never really taught specifically about the womb and the sacrum and all the organs, the bones, the ligaments. In that, what we've been finding is women come in and there's a lack of confidence around delivering womb healing modalities because they haven't got the foundations of the A&P. So I wanted to help with their confidence, bring in clarity around the womb, look at the picture behind, and the ovaries and everything, and to really be like a springboard. Okay, I've got that strong foundation. Now, which direction am I going to go in? So I wanted to really bridge that gap for all women. And some women might want a refresher. If you have done A&P, I know thinking back to the years ago when I did it, with origins and insertions of muscles. Really in-depth stuff that actually, for womb healing, you don't need to go into that much detail. You need to know what is where, how each organ interacts with each other. So it matters. It really does matter about A&P because once we are fully secure in understanding it, we can talk confidently about it. We can understand if we're doing a hands-on treatment, what is literally beneath our hands. And that supports a much clearer, cleaner, safer practice as a therapist. The intuition that we've got of knowing what we're doing. Oh, I've got, and so many women say when they've come to the sanctuary trainings, I feel like I've done this before. It's sort of in there. We've got this inner knowing, this gnosis, but then that has to mix in with the underpinning of the knowledge. And when you've got both, you're there. You're there. It gives you clarity, gives you confidence. So I'm not academic. None of the trainings in the sanctuary are academic. Neither is this particular online one. It's factual. It's explaining the basics in layman's everyday terms. So it's easy to read, easy to understand without being overly academic. And the course really covers these different things. So I'm just going to list them but I'm not going to go into detail because the detail's all in the training. The course covers pelvic anatomy, speaks for itself, covers womb and reproductive anatomy, so obviously the ovaries as well. It covers our hormones and how that affects women's health. It's a huge subject, hormones, and all the diseases and imbalances that can come from that. We look at the cycles, our moon cycles, our bleeds, and getting an understanding that we are not all every 28 days, getting a bigger picture on those cycles. There's also a module on professional understanding. Now, I really wish I'd had this back in the day. Boundaries. I have been boundaryless all my life as a therapist. I've been completely client-led. So that means answering calls on a Saturday, on Sunday, booking people in when exactly they want, feeling as though I've got to answer everyone immediately. And it's only actually really in the last year I've brought my own boundaries in, just for self-preservation, really, because otherwise you get burnt out. So boundaries are not being cruel or harsh with your clients who come. It's actually giving you safety, giving you clarity around your hours, your timings, everything like that. So we look at boundaries, we look at safety, safe practice, especially in womb work, all the buzzwords around trauma awareness and trauma informed. We absolutely are, because that's my lived experience. I not only work with the Sanctuary, I'm also a director of a women's CIC for survivors. So I have a ground roots level of understanding what it's like living under trauma every day. Safety is key within the Sanctuary, and that's taught in here, and your integrity. So the integrity is really what you see is what you get, really being who you are, your authentic self, rather than, as we've all seen, someone on Instagram claiming to do this, that, and the other. You think they're wonderful, and then you go and have a session with them and you realize, oh, they're not quite what they seemed. So speaking your truth, being who you are as a therapist, and being in integrity. There's also being integrity about what you know and what you don't know. So if someone came to you for something that you weren't trained in or qualified in, signposting them off to somebody else. For example, if you were trained in sound healing, sound tuning forks for the womb, but you absolutely knew this person would benefit from hands-on massage, you'd signpost them off. You just wouldn't carry on booking them in for sound healing when you absolutely knew they needed hands-on. So that's being in integrity, not just taking the money. It's just really what's in the client's best interests. That's all about accessible and grounded foundations within the course. Each level of it, each module has got several lessons in, and there's a little quiz at the end of every session just to make sure you've understood it. So it's self-paced and you learn it as you go. So who did I actually devise this course for? Well, it really is for women wanting to understand their body. I said at the beginning, so many women, myself included, weren't given the detail about our womb, our ovaries, the vagina, the cervix, the bowel, the bladder, everything that's interconnected, all those organs that rub up against each other, and all the nerves, everything that's in there, the pelvic floor that holds everything in, all of that. It's for women who want to understand a lot more about that. It's also for women who are completely new to this path. Complete beginners can absolutely breathe this in, suck it up, and learn really solid basic foundations to then decide, okay, I've learnt this A&P now. Which direction do I want to go in next? It opens doorways, different doorways. It's also open to any of the students who've already done any of the sanctuary trainings with me or any of the other teachers to give you more input. On the in-person trainings, we have a very brief section. We bring out Penny the pelvis, who's this model of the pelvis. We talk about all the different organs in there and pass that round. And that's as much as we have time to do because all the other detail of that particular modality has to be put into the day. So this will take away any pressure thinking, oh, we need to include it in those 3 days in-person training. Everyone will do this first. This training will become a prerequisite if anyone hasn't got A&P qualifications. They have to do this course first. Everyone's on the same level of knowledge, which will be wonderful. So massage therapy students, practitioners wanting stronger foundations. If you did it 30 years ago like me and you want a refresher or more detail, it's for you too. It's really for those who are in the beginning of their journey as a therapist, those in the middle, and those who are already on the path. It includes everyone. What I would like to see it do for everyone is to give them a lot more confidence, make women feel better prepared as practitioners, especially when clients come in and start talking about their different womb ailments, their womb diseases. So you are more informed when they talk about different parts of the womb, different parts of the ovary, where these things are. You won't have to go away and think, oh, I don't know that. You will know it because you've learnt it. Stronger knowledge, safer practice, deeper integration, actually. It really integrates really why we're here in the sanctuary, and why we're doing this work. At the beginning, a lot of the work I do is very esoteric. A lot of channeled information comes in, but we still need those solid, rooted foundations. Otherwise, we'd all be wafting up here, assuming we know things when we don't, and we really need to do. I hope that all makes sense so far. What I'm hoping, this won't be a barrier for people coming onto the trainings. It will be a support. It will be a stepping stone as we move through. The details of it, if you want the details, it's online on Kajabi. It's £111 for this whole course, but you get £50 off your next training. So if you decide to do the online and you think, actually, I want to jump on the tuning forks course in April, you get £50 off of that. That's how it goes. It's self-paced and it's available, what's the word? Evergreen. You can download everything, you can go back to it. It will stay up. It's on Kajabi. Those of you who are on the apprenticeship will know that Kajabi is the platform we use in the sanctuary because it's user-friendly. It's easier to access than Wix or WordPress or anything else like that. It's a really good teaching platform. So this particular one is self-paced. You log in, you sign up, and away you go. You don't get me saying, "Where's your homework?" Because there isn't homework. It's online quizzes. The invitation is to feel into whether it's right for you. This really is about strengthening your roots, strengthening your foundations, as I said. It's not about rushing, rushing, rushing to get something done. And I'm really actually quite excited to put it out into the world because after this one, on the 30th of March, my gorgeous daughter Beth, who is a massage therapist as well, we are filming a new training for the sanctuary, which will be our holistic massage training. So this is a bodywork training that will really help the women who have not done massage because we've had to turn a lot of women away from the shamanic womb massage because they've had no hands-on experience at all. But once they've done it with us, they know how we do it and then away they go. Again, another doorway will open. So rather than having to send women away to the local education college, where lots of courses have actually unfortunately been cut, they can stay with us. They can get a recognised qualification, they can get insured because we've jumped through the hoops to get accredited. We keep it all in-house, which is lovely. Everyone stays within the sanctuary community. So that was a whistle-stop tour of exactly what I was going to say. I'm really happy to open up the floor to ask if anyone's got any questions at all, either from what I've said or from anything else about this particular training or anything within the sanctuary. So if you have, just unmute yourself.
Jen, do you want to go first? Oh, sorry, I'm not very good on Zoom, and so I wasn't sure how.
I think we were muted at the same time, so
Oh, thank
you
you.
go first.
Oh, thanks. Just to really, um, I'm fairly new to all of this actually. It's wonderful. Claire, who you said I went to one of her sessions, which was amazing. Um, so I'm kind obviously the A&P course would be where to start, but after that, do you have any kind of recommendations or thoughts around kind of, what next? Because I've expressed an interest to do the course with Claire for the tuning forks in September, but I
Mhm.
didn't know whether it would be better to do like the steam wrapping or something first, or whether
I
it
think
doesn't really
yeah,
matter.
there's so much choice, Jen, which is lovely, but I think it's really individual. I would say, read through each training on the website, see what excites you, see what triggers you. You might be fearful of something. The word yoni see might send you into, what on earth is that? But yeah, read it through, and where you get a bodily response or an emotional
Okay.
response, I would say follow that. You've got to be drawn to do it. But yeah, this is the A&P is the first one, and then yeah, see what suits location, of course. Check out the teachers. They're all different. They've all got different personalities, different energetics, and also where you're at the moment. If you're already working with clients, what are the clients bringing to you? And what is
Mm,
the best way to help your clients? Because I started first with the massage because that is what helped me. I had endometriosis,
mm,
um, and the beautiful, beautiful sister down in Kent, she taught sacral abdominal massage, which was a part of the Avigo training, and that really, really helped me because I needed the hands-on. So that led
mm,
me to then go on and train myself, and with her blessing, take my own shamanic and priestess input into each of the trainings. So yeah,
mm,
Jen, it really is down to your personal pull and calling and what you love doing. There's no point going and doing massage if you've never touched a body before and you don't know if you like it or not. I would really encourage anyone who's thinking of doing massage, obviously do yourself, but get a friend in. Just try some intuitive
mm,
massage and see if you like putting your hands on someone. And if you don't, then at least you know, okay, massage isn't
mm,
for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sarah, you were next. Jump in, darling.
Hi, Angie. The question I had is how much patho is there in the training? Is there much on endometriosis and different kind of issues of the womb?
No,
Is it
no.
just healthy wombs, healthy A&P,
Yeah.
normal A&P?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into detail in womb disease.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe it should. Maybe that's another lesson I need to write. If there's a need, that's the thing. And I know that is the biggest thing when, as a therapist, when clients come to you and they say, I've got fibroids or I've got cysts, and you think, do I actually know what that is? And that's one of the important things that when you learn, when you're studying, the importance of the consultation form. So if you're not sure of anything, you have to look it up, you have to research it. But obviously, it's best to know. I'm going to write that down, Sarah. Womb diseases. We do cover it on the trainings, on the massage and the tuning forks.
Right, cool.
The teachers do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just wondering because I think that from my perspective, I'm on spiral 2 of
Mm,
the shamanic way of the womb training, which I absolutely adore, and I'm a long time therapist. I'm really looking to, really drawn to doing the tuning fork training with you in
mm,
April. I get people asking me all the time, for treatments for PCOS, for
yeah,
endo, for what's the
yeah,
best thing, what's the best treatment. And it's
yeah.
like at the minute, I'm like, well, I know a bit about this and a bit about that. And I think that for me, there's a bit of a gap there in knowing, like, okay, what is the best course for that? What is the best treatment for this moving forward?
I think that's
Um,
such a difficult question to put on a
yeah,
therapist. What is the best treatment? Because
yeah,
everyone is so individual and so multifaceted. You can't
yeah.
just say for endometriosis you need shamanic womb massage
No, no, I
because
know.
it could be
Yeah,
yoni steaming, it could be the herbs,
yeah,
the oils, it could be all of it.
yeah.
It's such a long drawn out,
Yeah, and
what is
it's really
best?
expensive, feel that, but it's just like people, women, the ones that I talk to, they want some answers, and it's
Of course.
it's
They want
just
the answers,
yeah, and
but
to
actually
understand,
to understand, yeah, and
yeah,
really it's getting to the root of the symptoms and the why has caused them to have this womb disease
yeah,
rather
exactly,
than going to the doctor. Oh, like me, the last few days.
yeah,
Okay, this is what's happened. You need this medication.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's not like that in the sanctuary.
no,
Yes, if someone's got endometriosis. Okay, let's go through that detailed womb health form. Look at
mm,
your diet, look at your history, look at your mother's history, your grandmother's history, your
mm,
whole menstrual cycle. All of these things inform. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Do, 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 do,
yeah,
do.
yeah,
And then with your experience, I know it's hard when you're new, but with your experience, you tune in, and that's what I do. I tune into what they've written a couple of days before I see them. What do they need? How can I
mm,
help this woman? And also, it's not always just medication or herbs. There's the emotional side. They might need some sort of
mm,
emotional release. They might be carrying rage, they might be carrying grief. So all of that stored within the womb can trigger off all these cysts, the fibroids. Yeah,
mm,
which is why it's such a fascinating pathway,
yeah,
such a fascinating world to be in, and we're pioneering the way, actually. I've been approached by someone in America to come and give a talk over there online because she said there's no one in America doing it, which really surprised me because there's a lot of us now in the UK. Lots of therapists have been trained in it. Why hasn't it rippled out to America yet?
mm.
Why are they looking
Yeah,
at
it's interesting because you see a lot of things from America that are very much like pelvic physio,
it? Mm,
like all based around like
totally.
physio for prolapse, physio for this, physio for that. And it's like
Yeah,
there's nothing really addressing, like you say, those energetic kind of
yeah,
roots and sort of really getting into the energetics behind the pathophysiology. I think that's where
absolutely.
I'm kind of coming from with it. Is like that's where I feel
Mm,
my knowledge gap is, if you like, is the
mm.
energetics behind the patho, and
Okay.
that kind of like,
I think this is a second hog training, darling.
great. Bring it, Angie.
It's a bit like Louise Hay. My knees, I buggered up my knees about 3 or 4 months ago. I thought it was arthritis. They were swelling up. Long story short, I had a scan. I paid for a scan because I needed answers. There you go, Sarah. I needed to know what was going on. And I had torn the meniscus on both knees. So I couldn't go up and down the stairs. I was like an old lady hobbling around. But if you look at the energetics of the knee, it is all about moving forwards, being flexible, literally carrying too much. So I have spent the last 3 months eating more protein, looking at everything. I've lost something like 4 kilos, which is fantastic. So that is the energetic for my knees. But if you went to a doctor or somebody else, of course, they'd tell you within their knowledge and their wisdom what's going on. So we have to look at, well, I choose to look at everything in that multifaceted approach, food, diet, energetics as well, all of it. This pelvic A&P doesn't go into that because it is a step into the foundations, but there is so much more in the Sanctuary of Sophia where we work not just with the practical, the here and now, but motherline, past lives. If you want the esoteric stuff, it is all here. You just have to take the step on the pathway first. I hope that answered your question, Sarah. Energetics of disease. Okay. So has anybody else got their hand up or would like to ask me anything? Don't be shy. Jump in. I don't have an open floor very often. You got me in a good mood. I'm just so happy to be here. No? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So thank you all for being here. I think as we all return through this equinox portal, and whatever you choose to do, I just hope you strengthen your foundations in yourself, with all the chaos on the world going on, to come back to your own womb, come back to your own energy. And I extend that invitation for you to join the sanctuary in whatever form feels right for you. Have a look at all the other trainings. Every woman who applies has an informal chat. So to make sure the training is right, we only take 13 women on each training. And yeah, we need everyone to feel they're in the right vibration. It's the right course. We're the right teachers and they're the right students for us. And then everybody's happy. So thank you so much for being on the call this evening. I will be emailing out once this particular course is fully tested, fully whizzy, and really look forward to launching this out into the world. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank
Nana.
you.
Bye,
Thanks a lot.
everyone.
Bye.